Can you hear that? The ground is shaking. It's not because of an earthquake, but because a storm made of flesh and bone is sweeping across the African plains. Millions of wildebeests, zebras, and Thompson's gazelles are thundering toward the horizon, with clouds of dust rising high with each step. They dashed across the blazing meadows, plunging into the swirling river, where dozens of crocodiles lay in wait, ready to strike at the slightest moment of vulnerability. All of this is for something that seems small, green grass. But for them, it is a matter of survival. This is not a trip. This is a gamble. A fierce battle is fought every year, where nature shows no mercy. Nearly 10% will falter, left behind, swallowed by rivers, predators, or simply by their own exhaustion. However, they continued to move forward, as if there were a fire blazing in every vein, urging them onward, regardless of everything. Join Nature Moment to explore this extraordinary adventure, where the predator and prey face off. Welcome to the land of warriors, a place where life is reserved for those who dare to risk everything. Every year, more than 1.7 million wildebeests, 260,000 zebras, and 470,000 gazelles embark on a journey from the Serengeti to Masai Mara, traveling over 160 miles in search of food and water. Every step is a race for survival. The truly challenging journey begins when they must cross the Mara River, the harsh and ultimate test. The herds of antelope moved like an unstoppable wave, cutting through the dry grass and kicking up clouds of dust behind them. They moved tirelessly toward the promised land, carrying a weight of up to 600 pounds, ready to face any challenges that nature presents. For newborn calves weighing around 18 kilograms, life is a survival experiment. Around them, predators lurked stealthily, overwhelmed by hunger, waiting for the opportunity to seize their meal. But the journey doesn't stop there. The Mara River, with its murky waters, conceals fierce Nile crocodiles that can grow up to 16 feet long, lying in ambush beneath the surface, their sharp teeth ready to strike at any slow-moving creature that strays too close. This is what turned the journey into a true test of physical endurance. Approximately 250,000 antelopes and 30,000 zebras could not survive the journey. The endless thirst during the dry season, the gnawing hunger as grasslands continue to diminish, and the exhaustion that leaves many species unable to continue their journey, all contribute to the looming threat of survival. Predators are always alert, ready to exploit any signs of weakness from their prey. This harsh journey may mark the end for some, but it is also the ultimate challenge of nature for those strong enough to overcome it. For the surviving antelopes, it is an ongoing battle between hope and hardship. In this ongoing journey of migration, life and conflict are always closely intertwined, creating a powerful narrative about strength and unity in the wild. The herds of antelope and zebras come together, forming a strong force, united to overcome all challenges. The Serengeti, a vast grassland covering more than 14,800 square kilometers, is the starting point for one of the most spectacular journeys on Earth. This is the heart of the Great Migration, a natural phenomenon that has formed over millions of years due to changes in geology and climate. This grassland has evolved into an important hub for wildlife. About 2 million years ago, the emergence of herds of antelope, zebras and ostriches began to shape a unique ecosystem in this savanna region. In this context, large animal species have developed seasonal migration patterns, triggered by rainfall and the emergence of new canopies after storms. Recent research in 2023 has indicated that the Great Migration may have begun around 1 million years ago, forming during the Pleistocene epoch, which lasted from 2.5 million to 11,700 years ago. This migration has become an essential survival circle in the savanna. After improved conservation efforts in the 1970s, animal populations began to stabilize and recover. At the end of the rainy season, the grasslands undergo a rapid transformation. The plants wither under the scorching sun, unable to sustain enough life for the millions of creatures that inhabit this place. The harshness of life compels the herds to continue their journey. But migration is not just about seeking food. It also symbolizes the unity among the small creatures that are together, overcoming this harsh land. Herds of animals flow like a river, forming a unified force to protect each other from lurking predators. When thousands of hooves clash together, they create a powerful force, a dance of life and death, confronting nature and time. The Great Migration across the African savanna is not just a natural event, it is also shaped by climate and instinct. These animals do not follow a rigid schedule. Instead, they respond to signals from the land, such as rain and the emergence of lush grass. The harsh climate of the savanna acts as an invisible force guiding their journey, an unending path where life and challenges are always intertwined. The short rainy season from December to March in the African savanna signals the rebirth of the Serengeti. The first rains caress the earth like a symphony, awakening new life, stimulating growth, and creating the wonders that await within the heart of the wild. According to the Tanzania Meteorological Organization, in 2023, the average rainfall of 10 to 30 centimeters per month during this period has brought about a significant revival of the local vegetation. The lush green grass blooms everywhere, providing an abundant source of food for the mothers after giving birth. The Serengeti grasslands are not only a source of food, but also a solid foundation for the entire ecosystem. Grasses such as the Medotriandra and Pennisetum thrive brilliantly thanks to abundant rainfall, becoming an essential resource for millions of herbivorous animals. According to research from the Tanzania Wildlife Research Institute, 2023 has shown that rainfall and a temperate climate, with temperatures ranging from 20 to 26 degrees Celsius, create ideal conditions for the breeding season. Although the rains are not heavy, they still play a significant role as a source of life, reviving the meadows. An invisible hand cares for the herds, keeping the pastures lush and green, without causing floods or hindering their movement. Every time the rain arrives, the southern Serengeti awakens with undulating shades of green, transforming from the dry summer days into a vibrant carpet of grass that stretches to the horizon. This is an important time when herds of wildebeest begin to gather in this area, choosing it as a safe breeding ground for themselves. The young fawns have found the necessary protection in the warm embrace of Mother Nature. This stage is not only crucial for the migration cycle, but also key to the survival of the species during the legendary Great Migration. In the southern Serengeti, more than 500,000 calves are born within a short period, creating a magnificent spectacle and demonstrating a phenomenon known as predator swamping, a powerful survival strategy of nature. Hundreds of thousands of tiny antelopes are born at the same time, creating an enormous number that overwhelms predators like lions and leopards. The abundance of prey prevents the leopards from fully exploiting this rich food source. The newborn fawns with their trembling legs are taking their first steps into life, symbolizing the hope and vitality of nature. In the wild, enormous living walls began to form, acting as a sturdy shield to protect each other from the sharp claws and the hungry gaze of enemies. In the southern Serengeti, it feels like a vast ocean of survival. Here, quantity becomes power, and the continuous flow of life begins the steps of the Great Migration. Each step marks an endless cycle of life on the African savanna. However, survival does not solely depend on numbers. In the challenging journey of the Great Migration, the young ones must quickly mature, as time is not on their side. Just a few minutes after being born, a young one weighing about 18 pounds had to stand up, full of life and death. The first steps are not only instinctual, but also essential for its survival. In just a few hours, they began to frolic and blend in with the herd, escaping the watchful gaze of lions, hyenas, leopards, and other lurking predators. Thanks to the quality milk from their mother, the young ones grow at a rapid pace. Just 1 week later, they can run nearly as fast as adults, reaching speeds of 40 to 48 miles per hour. This is an important skill to avoid predators, especially when the herd moves more than 100 kilometers across the grassland. The zebras, also known as African zebras, are a key factor in the Great Migration. They constantly face terrifying predators such as lions, hyenas, African wild dogs, and cheetahs. However, they are not completely passive in the face of these dangers. Zebras have developed many highly effective natural defense mechanisms. One of the most important strategies is to move in large groups. In the Serengeti, these horses stretch across the grasslands while still maintaining their bond within dense groups that extend all the way to the horizon. The large number of them creates a complex matrix that makes it difficult for predators to select a specific target, causing chaos in the continuous flow of survival. This strategy not only protects the weak young ones from the risk of being hunted, but also allows the herd to fully take advantage of the lush grasslands, which is especially important after heavy rains. But when danger approaches, the mature males not only hold their ground, but also take on the task of protecting the entire herd with their sharp horns. This image is not only a lesson in the power of unity, but also showcases the harsh beauty of life in nature. The horns are not only a symbol of strength, but they also form a solid protective barrier for the herd. In difficult times, the collective effort of the entire pack helps drive away enemies, especially during the breeding season. At this moment, life and survival intertwine with each step taken across the barren fields. In that context, the Thompson's gazelle, with its resilient vitality, has found a way to survive, thanks to its adaptability. From December to March, they mingle with other herds in the southern Serengeti, turning this area into an ideal place for breeding and foraging for food. Unlike other animal species, zebras do not have a synchronized breeding season. Instead, the females give birth year-round, but their presence during the rainy season provides crucial advantages for the survival of the entire herd. The herds of zebras, each adult weighing around 750 pounds and standing about 5 feet tall, move together in large groups, their hooves echoing like the continuous rhythm of the savanna. Every step on the grasslands is a battle for survival, and with their flexible reproductive strategy, zebras rely not only on numbers to survive, but also seize every opportunity that nature provides. In contrast to the arid conditions of the savanna, the herds of zebras in the southern Serengeti have adapted to thrive in semi-arid conditions, where water and food are often scarce due to competition from other herbivorous animals. They can travel dozens of miles in search of water, even when the grass has withered under the scorching sun. Their diet mainly consists of coarse, fiber-rich grasses that many other animals overlook, which helps them survive better during the dry season, especially when following the Great Migration, where the vegetation changes abruptly with the seasons. The gestation period of a zebra lasts from 12 to 13 months. But just 20 to 30 minutes after giving birth, the foals are strong enough to stand up, although they still wobble in their first few steps. Although they weigh only about 32 kilograms, what matters most is their ability to stand up, integrate into the herd, and run swiftly. Every second is precious in these vast fields, as predators relentlessly watch, waiting for vulnerable moments to separate the young ones from the herd. However, thanks to the power of unity, these zebras can overcome those harsh challenges. The survival of animals depends not only on individual strength, but also on the ability to interact and collaborate as a group. This is a valuable lesson for all of us. The stories among these animals always teach us about the value of unity, agility, and the ability to adapt in a harsh, natural environment. Let's explore more of the wonderful secrets about this colorful and rich wild world. The survival instinct is the essence of wild animals. The young zebras quickly learn that a united group is their best defense when they join the herd. When the herd moves together, the likelihood of being attacked decreases significantly. This strategy is a clear example of how survival is intertwined with collaboration. Each individual contributes to creating a collective symphony, where every step resonates with the very essence of life itself. However, despite this formidable unity, the long gestation period of zebras makes them an easy target for predators such as lions, hyenas, and cheetahs. While resting or drinking water after a long and tiring journey, the young zebras may fall into the sights of hunters. But they are not alone in this fight. The true strength of zebras lies in the bond of the herd. These beautiful creatures live in large herds, led by a strong male to protect the females and their young. This social system is not only a matter of structure, but also involves important communication through voice, body language, and supportive behavior, factors that are crucial for ensuring each other's safety. In a migration spanning over 1,900 kilometers, zebras do not travel alone. They often move alongside antelopes, forming a living shield that significantly reduces the risk of being hunted. When the herd moves as one, predators find it very difficult to target an individual, creating a dispersal effect that increases the survival rate of the young zebras. The migration story across the Serengeti is a lifeline, a continuous race for survival. After the rainy season, the southern Serengeti grasslands transform into a vast green paradise that provides fresh nutrients, becoming the ideal environment for Thompson's gazelle. These tiny creatures, along with zebras, begin their breeding season, although their gestation period is significantly shorter, only 5 months. At this time, each deer usually gives birth to a calf weighing about 1 pound, ready to integrate into the vibrant life of the vast plain. Therefore, in the dance of life, every creature, whether it be a zebra, an antelope, or a predator, plays a fundamental role. Survival is not just an individual struggle. This is a journey of collaboration and adaptation, where every step holds significance in the epic tale of nature. Nature. In the midst of harsh nature, only connection and sharing can create the miracle of life. If that journey resonates with you, please comment too to let us know you're here. Join Nature Moment in listening to the rhythm of the wild. Behind every step on the savannah lies an untold story, a lesson that has yet to be learned. And the next part of the video, where the real journey is just beginning, is waiting for you to explore. When it comes to survival in the wilderness, every movement matters. Let's explore the life of one of the smallest yet incredibly agile antelopes, the Thompson's gazelle. With a height of only 60 to 70 centimeters and a weight of 20 to 35 kilograms, they are not only easily recognizable due to their light brown fur and white bellies, but also stand out with a black stripe that extends from their legs to their shoulders. It is that grace that has helped them stand out amidst the vast landscape of the Serengeti savanna. Although small in size, the Thompson's gazelle often becomes a target for predators such as cheetahs and occasionally African wild dogs. Born weighing only about 5 kilograms, the young antelopes do not immediately join the herd. Instead, they must employ camouflage skills to protect themselves. In the early days, the young antelopes often lay motionless in the tall grass, where their bright brown fur helped them blend perfectly with their surroundings. This is truly a vital survival strategy, needed to overcome the weakest phase of life. Every day, their mother returns to nurse them before leaving them alone in the thick grass. The ability to blend into the vast fields is not just a stealth tactic, but also a crucial factor in overcoming the harsh challenges of the Serengeti. During the annual migration season, Thompson's gazelles often move alongside herds of zebras and wild horses. However, due to their small size, they often lag behind and take advantage of the young grasses left behind by larger animals. This behavior not only helps them minimize direct competition, but also conserves energy for the challenging journey ahead. One of the notable characteristics of this species of antelope is its ability to move its tail continuously, serving as a warning signal for other members of the herd when there is a risk of attack. In addition, Thompson's gazelles frequently perform high jumps while running, not only to alert their predators to their presence, but also as a way to showcase their agility and flexibility in front of other members of the herd. When the breeding season ends around April to May, the southern plains of the Serengeti gradually become arid. The rains have passed, leaving only a faint trace of a time filled with life. In this place, every species of animal must find ways to adapt and survive in a constantly changing world. Let's look forward to the next exciting stories about the wild and mysterious lives of the creatures here. On the arid plains, the heavy traces of millions of Thompson's gazelles and zebras are deeply imprinted, marking a climbing phase in their great migration. South of the Serengeti, what was once a lush paradise has now become a barren land, lacking in nutrients. However, in the north, the vibrant green pastures are still calling to the herd. The timing for this migration is not fixed. It can begin at any time between late April and early June, when the southern Serengeti can no longer sustain the herds. At this moment, moving north became the only option, as the lands here represented the last hope for survival. This is the moment when the herd must embark on a journey of over 800 kilometers. The new pastures are waiting for them, and the large-scale migration begins. More than 1 million antelopes and 300,000 Thompson's gazelles, along with 200,000 zebras, simultaneously formed flowing lines stretching up to 40 kilometers, resembling an endless river flowing to the rhythm of life and death. Every step taken carries a common purpose: a vibrant vitality and the will to survive. They consume tons of grass each day, forcing them to move north where there is still enough food and water to sustain life. According to ecological studies in 2023, the speed at which these herds move can reach between 10 and 15 kilometers each day, significantly faster than in other stages of the migration. This is not just a survival instinct, it is passed down from one generation to the next. As the grasslands in the south and central regions gradually depleted, the herds had to search for new territories before the dry season took full effect. If there is a delay, the risk of malnutrition and exhaustion will be right before our eyes. During this period, the decrease in rainfall is affecting the migration patterns of the herds. They crossed the small rivers and marshes that remained from the rainy season, the hurried footsteps of antelopes and zebras echoing across the arid land. The savanna forest has now turned into a harsh racetrack where the ability to navigate through a barren landscape will determine the fate of each individual. These massive migration groups are not just herds of animals searching for food. They are also living shields, supporting and protecting one another in this challenging life. In the wild, animals have developed unique survival strategies, among which moving in large herds is one of the most effective ways to cope with the threats posed by predators. The abundance of these animals not only makes it more difficult for predators to choose a target, but also reduces their chances of success. But as their journey extended northward, these large herds began to break into smaller groups, which not only reduced the pressure on vegetation, but also improved food accessibility for each individual. Each small group has now become a fortress of survival in their journey spanning over 1,900 kilometers, where every step is a battle for existence. This journey is not just a quest for water and food, it is also a race against time. As the herds migrate closer to the Serengeti River in the north, the intensity of the migration increases. According to research by the Tanzania Wildlife Research Institute in 2023, this period has the highest success rate for carnivores compared to other times of the year. The antelopes, after having traveled a long distance and exhausted from the lack of food, become easy targets in the open grasslands. Predators like lions and leopards are the two most fearsome hunters in the Serengeti, seizing every opportunity to attack as the migrating herds cross open areas. The constant presence of predators forces migratory herds to remain in a state of heightened alertness, as each step could mean life or death. In the arid grasslands, lions, famous for their sophisticated hunting strategies, are truly a significant threat to the herds of animals on the move. They do not just rush into hunting indiscriminately. Instead, they plan their attacks, selecting ambush points along migration routes. Lionesses often choose difficult terrains, such as thickets or rugged landscapes, to hide and take advantage of the element of surprise when migrating herds begin to tire after their long journey. Faced with threats from predators, herbivorous animals have developed clever defense strategies. The zebras, with their excellent eyesight, often serve as guides on this migration journey. According to research from the Serengeti Research Institute, zebras have an exceptional ability to detect predators, which allows them to become brave warriors, leading the herd through dangerous traps. Their journey is a tough yet powerful battle, where the spirit of unity and intelligence determines survival in the wild. From a distance of up to 2 kilometers, upon detecting the presence of lions, prey such as zebras immediately emit a series of urgent warning calls, allowing the herd to regroup, heighten their alertness, and prepare to respond to sudden changes in the situation. In case of needing to escape, both zebras and antelopes can reach speeds of 65 to 80 kilometers per hour, making it difficult for the lionesses that are hunting them, as they can only maintain high speeds for a short period of time. When the situation becomes dangerous, both zebras and antelopes deploy their own defensive strategies to deal with the top predators of the savanna. The antelope, weighing up to 225 kilograms, has sharp horns that can reach lengths of up to 75 centimeters. When feeling threatened, they not only flee but also boldly counterattack, using their horns to stab and defend themselves against lion attacks. Although lions are powerful hunters, if they are struck by the horns of an antelope, they can be seriously injured. The zebra, weighing around 880 pounds, is also quite formidable. They have the ability to turn the tide with powerful kicks from their hind legs. According to data from the Tanzania Wildlife Research Institute in 2024, a kick from a zebra can cause serious injury to a lion, especially if the blow targets the head or chest. This skill allows zebras to protect themselves when faced with danger. Typically, zebras move in smaller groups and use kicks when they sense a threat, especially in dense grasslands and rugged terrain. The tension is rising between two worlds. On one side are the patient and stealthy predators waiting for the right moment, while on the other side are the cautious herds of animals, moving forward, step by step. The daily struggle for survival between predator and prey unfolds relentlessly, where life and danger are just a heartbeat apart, amidst the vast grasslands of the savannah. At the same time, cheetahs began to emerge as a significant threat to both antelopes and zebras. With the ability to sprint at speeds ranging from 100 to 120 kilometers per hour over short distances, the cheetah has become the fastest predator on the plains of Africa, where speed is the ultimate advantage. They leverage this ability to approach their targets silently, employing secretive tactics across the flat fields. However, at the same time, migratory animals have developed their own countermeasures to evade this terrifying pursuit. Under the vast sky of the Serengeti, Thompson's gazelles are not only agile warriors, but also masters of survival tactics. When pursued by polar bears, the fastest predators in the world, they do not panic. Instead, they skillfully split into small groups, each heading in a different direction, like arrows released from a bow. Each time they descend to the ground to search for food, they put the macaque monkeys in a risky situation, especially from the lurking Bengal tigers. Just a moment of distraction is all it takes for a young one to become the next meal for a predator. These antelopes, although small in size, have the ability to run at speeds of 80 to 100 miles per hour. A quick-witted monkey often stands guard, its sharp eyes scanning the forest floor, alert to even the slightest movement. However, their main weapon lies not only in their impressive speed, but also in their agility and ability to change direction unexpectedly. The leader of the group noticed something unusual. A short cry and a warning was quickly relayed to the herd. The sound of the leaves rustling never escapes the attention of the creatures that inhabit this place. With sharp turns and zigzagging runs, the antelope forces the polar bears to slow down, preventing them from maintaining high speeds for extended periods. As soon as there was a sign of danger, a sharp warning call rang out, causing the entire troop of monkeys to stop in the midst of their activities. If a gazelle can get through this stage, its chances of survival will increase significantly. Immediately, the adult ones formed a circle, surrounding the young ones in the center. As May transitions into the migration season, the zebras and antelopes begin their journey westward, towards the Serengeti, and the crossing of the Grumeti River opens a new chapter filled with adventure in their lives. Each individual becomes a shield, ready to respond if a leopard attacks. When a tiger is spotted, the alarm from the guards becomes more urgent, urging the entire group to quickly retreat to the safety of the treetops. Beneath the rushing water, predators lay in wait, intently watching for every moment when the young creatures of the meadow approached the shore. But once the threat has passed, the forest suddenly comes alive again with the spectacular acrobatic performances of the rhesus monkeys. When the attack failed, opportunistic spirits emerged recklessly. Excited cries rang out, as if transforming the leaves into a stage for the enchanting performances of Mother Nature. The allure of the lush green fields to the north is irresistible, yet the Grumeti River presents a formidable challenge that separates success from despair. They do not intend to steal the prey, but rather to exhaust the solitary hunter. A lion is surrounded by more than 20 hyenas, finding itself at a disadvantage in numbers. The rhesus monkeys are not only vibrant inhabitants of the forest, but also the silent guardians of the Terai jungle. With a length of about 30 miles, this river is not as vast as the Mara, but each deep stretch of water is like a deadly trap for the large herds of migrating animals. As the migration gradually approached the riverbank, the animals faced one of the most dangerous predators of the savanna, the Nile crocodile. It cannot face all of them at the same time. Their presence ensures that the forest remains lush and vibrant, a testament to nature's intricate design and the balance that nurtures this marvelous ecosystem. The resilience of the lion has reached its limit. The silent sounds of the forest blend with the majestic footsteps of the Asian elephants. These giant creatures lurk beneath the water's surface, their eyes intently watching every movement of their prey. The lion's allies heard the noise. These gentle giants, symbols of strength and tranquility, are a vibrant embodiment of the tropical forests of Nepal. With an average length of 5 to 6 meters and a powerful bite force exceeding 3,700 pounds per square inch, a moment of distraction could turn any zebra into a meal for these swimming predators. Although Asian elephants are found throughout South Asia, the elephants in Nepal possess unique characteristics, shaped by the specific environment and climate of the region. In the wild, every important decision can become a pivotal turning point between life and death. Now, the situation has changed with 20 hyenas. Are the antelopes and zebras smart and agile enough to overcome this challenge? Primarily concentrated in the tropical forests of the Terai region, Nepalese elephants frequently move through the low hills in search of food and water, especially during the dry season. 2 male lions appeared, tipping the scales in their favor. The answer can only be known when faced with danger, when the swirling waters carry both fear and hope. This continuous movement has made their legs strong and agile, honing their exceptional adaptability. With no other options left, the hyenas were forced to withdraw from the battle. Each step they take along the riverbank is not just a step forward, but also a battle between survival and the desire for freedom. The migration behavior of elephants also sets them apart, as they often travel in herds of 10 to 20 individuals, sometimes reaching up to 50 during times of scarcity. Let's follow this incredible journey where instinct and agility become the most powerful weapons in the quest for survival. On the contrary, lions never eat hyenas, even when they kill them. These packs are led by a mature female, a seasoned companion who guides them through the challenging journeys. In 2024, a study from the African Wildlife Conservation Fund revealed that the Egyptian crocodile, also known as the Nile crocodile, achieved a success rate of up to 7% in chaotic river crossing. Returning to the waterhole, the herd of zebras continued to drink, but they never let their guard down. In the beautiful yet harsh landscape of nature, every moment is a battle for survival that each species of animal must face in its own fate. When a prey is caught, the leopard does not hesitate, but immediately drags the carcass to safety in the branches of a tree, where other predators cannot take away the meal it has worked hard to secure. With a perfect combination of agility, strength, and patience, The leopard has become one of the deadliest predators of the savanna, always ready to seize its opportunity. As the herds of migrating animals move toward the Grumeti River, their lives have now become a strategic equation of time and strength. Although countless dangers lurk, they are still driven by the promise of fertile lands across the river. However, crossing the Grumeti is not a simple task. Just one misstep could lead to disaster, especially when the Nile crocodiles are quietly waiting beneath the surface of the water. The river, originally swollen by the rains in May and June, can become unpredictable when the rains cease, making crossing it even more challenging. With about 1 million zebras and 200,000 of them on this perilous journey, they are acutely aware that moving together is their greatest protection. Groups of 5,000 to 10,000 fish simultaneously plunged into the water, creating a mass of movement and chaos, making it very difficult for predators to focus on a single target. The led animals, usually the strongest and most experienced ones, guide the way, carefully selecting a safe route across the river. This magnificent scene not only helps us evade predators, but also transforms the chaotic river crossing into a tactical advantage. When the rushing waters and lurking predators create constant threats, the strength of the herd lies in their unity. They are interdependent, showing that sometimes survival is entirely a matter of close connection. This collective strength transforms the perilous river crossing into a strategic dance between life and death. During the breeding season, the intense competition of nature amidst migration causes animals to often pause along the banks of the Grumeti River, sometimes waiting for hours or even days. This moment of hesitation may seem like indecisiveness, but in reality, it holds thoughtful considerations and a survival strategy. In the wild, survival is not just about finding food. It is a strategic method that animals must follow to protect themselves and their community. Like a pack of animals intently watching the surface of the water, their vigilance is directed toward potential dangers, especially from the lurking Nile crocodile. This period of calm is not merely a break. It is a time when the leaders of the group closely study their surroundings, assessing whether the water level is too deep and determining the safe distance from the shore to the position of predators. Recent ecological studies have shown that this cautious behavior plays a crucial role in enhancing the survival capabilities of the herd. This tense moment is filled with drama, where the difference between life and death could hinge on a single wrong decision. The clever animals take this time to meticulously explore the land, minimizing any risks before embarking on their adventurous journey across the rushing river. What may seem like a simple migration is, in fact, a carefully calculated struggle against the harsh forces of nature. Over millions of years, these survival instincts have been refined so that only those who make the smartest decisions can survive. The annual migration event is not just a journey. It is a dramatic competition where instinct, experience, and caution come together to create an impressive display of life. Especially from July to October, the Masai Mara region becomes the backdrop for one of the most spectacular events in the natural world, the Great Migration. Millions of zebras and antelopes move from the Serengeti, crossing the treacherous Mara River in search of a refuge for wildlife. The Masai Mara region, adjacent to the Serengeti, encompasses a rich ecosystem that spans approximately 100 kilometers, featuring diverse landscapes ranging from open grasslands to river valleys and dense forests. With abundant rainfall ranging from 75 to 125 centimeters each year, this land thrives with vitality. The lush green patches of grass provide abundant food for zebras and antelopes, while the taller grass areas serve as shelter for large herbivores such as elephants and giraffes. The result is a balanced ecosystem where the abundance of resources allows animal species to coexist peacefully without fierce competition for food. Masai Mara has become a hotspot for biodiversity, with more than 95 species of mammals and over 570 species of birds. The combination of a rich plant life and a dense animal population has created a vibrant ecological space, proving that in the wild, survival is not a race, but an art that requires skill, intelligence, and sensitivity. In the wild, every life is a silent story of instinct, desire, and extraordinary courage. Amidst the lurking dangers, it is the bonds of connection and sharing that have helped all living beings overcome the harshest challenges. The journey ahead is full of surprises, where just one wrong decision could determine survival. Continue to accompany Nature Moment to explore the strategic and emotional survival battles in the wilderness. Millions of migrating animals create a complex food chain where predators have a chance to survive. Here you can find the 5 most famous species in the wild: lions, leopards, elephants, buffalo, and rhinoceroses, all of which inhabit the Masai Mara region. Here, every day is a battle for survival, where predators and prey engage in an eternal struggle for existence. Migration provides a rich supply of food for the group of carnivorous animals, showcasing the power and raw beauty of nature. This land, not only rich in life, but also stunning in its landscapes, remains one of the largest wildlife havens in Africa. The journey back from the Great Migration is a struggle for survival from July to October. During this time, millions of antelope, zebras and gazelles cross the Mara River, transforming the Masai Mara into a vibrant stage of life and survival. The vast grasslands serve as the backdrop for an impressive display, where these herbivores not only graze, but also play a crucial role in maintaining the ecosystem. A report in 2023 from the Serengeti Mara Ecosystem Fund indicated that rampant grazing during the migration season not only stimulates the growth of new grasslands, but also helps disperse seeds and improve soil fertility. Even the large amount of waste left behind after movement affects the distribution of vegetation, creating favorable conditions for many other species to thrive. As November and December approach, brief rains begin to invigorate the southern region of the Serengeti, transforming the arid plains into vibrant green fields full of life. This has become the ideal place for antelopes and zebras to return in search of food, marking the beginning of the final chapter in their migration, as the species embark on their long journey south to Tanzania. The Serengeti, with its expansive short grass plains, has become the destination for this arduous journey, providing a safe haven for herds to breed and begin a new life cycle. In these final months, the landscape is preparing for a season of revival. The antelopes, especially the wildebeests, find ideal conditions for breeding, ensuring that the next generation is born in an environment that is both safe and nurturing. This is truly a testament to the power of nature in a life filled with danger and uncertainty. The herds of animals return to a place where nature once again prepares for a new beginning, marking the end of one cycle and the start of another. The weather is changing, with increasingly frequent extreme events. Changes in rainfall patterns in the Serengeti have brought about unusual weather phenomena, such as severe droughts and floods, posing significant challenges for migrating herds. Drought, in particular, has a devastating impact on wildlife. When the grass does not grow quickly enough or in sufficient quantities, species such as wildebeests, zebras and gazelles are forced to leave the Serengeti earlier than expected, or must stay there longer than usual. This extended stay puts tremendous pressure on the resources of the Masai Mara, where grass and water are becoming increasingly scarce, threatening the balance of the ecosystem. Floods, although less predictable, carry their own inherent dangers. A report from the Serengeti Research Institute in 2023 states that during years of heavy rainfall, rivers can become extremely turbulent, making river crossings a dangerous challenge. During those years, the mortality rate during river crossings could rise to 10% within the group, especially for younger members who became victims of the strong currents. The river crossings, which were once an essential and natural part of the Great Migration, have now turned into a fight for survival, where their fate hangs by a thin thread. In addition to the weather, erosion and changes in the landscape are continuously reshaping migration routes. The heavy rains have created deep valleys and rugged hills on the savanna, completely transforming the familiar landscape. The rivers, which once sustained life, now flow with dangerous currents, making even the search for water a deadly risk. As the land changes, migration routes continuously evolve. The wildebeest, zebra, and gazelle are sometimes forced to find new, uncharted paths, adapting to an ever-changing environment in their quest for survival. These continuous adjustments highlight the resilience of these animals as they face an increasingly uncertain and perilous journey. Year after year, the development of infrastructure and human impact increasingly influence the struggle for survival in the Serengeti and Masai Mara, which is no longer solely governed by natural factors. The impact of humans, particularly through infrastructure development, is increasingly threatening the delicate balance of the natural ecosystem. Projects such as highways, bridges, and urban expansion are creating significant barriers, severing migration routes that have existed for thousands of years. These developments not only make it difficult for millions of herbivorous species to maintain their natural migration routes, but also disrupt essential ecological corridors. According to the Environmental Organization's report in 2023, the risk of fatal accidents increases when herds of animals are forced to cross busy roads to continue their journey, posing dangers to both the animals and drivers. Although tourism provides essential economic benefits for Tanzania and Kenya, it has also had unintended effects on the great migration of wildlife. The construction of resorts and roads has encroached upon the natural habitats of wildebeests, zebras, and gazelles, further disrupting their migration routes. According to the 2024 report from the Kenya Wildlife Service, the Masai Mara region has experienced traffic congestion of up to 600 vehicles each day during the peak migration season. The presence of many safari vehicles not only disrupts the natural behavior of animals, but also adds pressure on them as they try to avoid the vehicles, causing the structure of herds to become fragmented and more vulnerable to predators. The impact of humans, from infrastructure to tourism, is altering animal migration efforts in ways that could leave a lasting mark on the ecosystem. Protecting natural migration corridors is essential to ensure the survival of wildlife, as well as to preserve the cultural heritage of this magnificent land. The Great Migration, one of the most miraculous events in nature, is facing numerous threats from human development. The decline of grasslands, erratic weather patterns, and severe natural disasters are impacting the lives of animals and the fragile ecosystems they inhabit. The migrations are becoming longer, more exhausting, and more dangerous than ever before. The once thriving grasslands are now under tremendous pressure from prolonged dry seasons, and this great journey may suffer irreparable damage in the near future. To address these challenges, international organizations, local governments, and non-governmental organizations are working tirelessly to protect and restore animal migration corridors. A battle that is not easy at all, but is absolutely essential to preserve the life and beauty of this ecosystem for future generations. What about you? What will you do to help protect these wonderful creatures? Let's take action together for a sustainable future. Let's explore the important strategies for wildlife conservation. One key approach is to expand protected areas and create ecological corridors to ensure safe passage for their migrations. A notable effort is the expansion of the western corridor of the Serengeti, where a report from the Tanzania Wildlife Research Institute in 2023 highlighted the Tanzanian government's efforts to protect herds of livestock as they cross the Grumeti and Mara rivers. These corridors play a crucial role in minimizing conflicts between humans and wildlife, while also preventing the fragmentation of migration routes. According to the Serengeti Research Institute, in 2024, a key measure was implemented, limiting the number of vehicles in the reserves to minimize interference with the natural behaviors of migratory animals. In particular, ecotourism is being strongly promoted, with resorts implementing sustainable practices, such as minimizing plastic waste and using renewable energy. The restoration efforts focused on plant conservation and water management in important rivers like Grumeti and Mara have helped maintain a viable habitat for migratory herds. Along with that, raising awareness about conservation plays an extremely important role. Environmental education programs supported by organizations such as the African Wildlife Foundation are helping to alleviate the pressure from poaching, while local communities are increasingly participating in ecotourism projects, reaping economic benefits from tourism. The combination of conservation and community not only allows humans and animals to thrive together, but also creates a more sustainable future. A particularly inspiring example is the Northern Tanzania Grasslands Conservation Initiative, abbreviated as NTRI. This collaborative project involves not only conservation organizations, but also local communities, focusing on the protection of essential ecological corridors particularly along the migration routes of zebras, antelopes, and gazelles, from the Serengeti to Masai Mara. The success of these efforts demonstrates the importance of collective action in preserving the Great Migration. However, the effort to preserve is not just the responsibility of organizations or the government. Each individual can also contribute by sponsoring reputable conservation groups, thereby helping to protect these beautiful animals. Travelers visiting Mara can choose eco-tourism companies that meet high standards, contributing to nature conservation and promoting sustainable development. Conserving wildlife is not just the responsibility of scientists, organizations, or the government. It is a journey that requires the collaboration of all of us, those who love nature and believe in a greener future for this planet. Just by taking seemingly small actions, such as reducing the use of single-use plastics, switching to renewable energy, or simply maintaining a safe distance from wildlife when you encounter them, you are making a significant contribution to preserving the fragile life in the wild. Maintaining distance is a sign of respect. When we do not intervene harshly in the lives of wildlife, they experience less stress. Their habitats are protected, and the ecosystem has the opportunity to heal itself. Another way to preserve, sometimes forgotten, is to support community initiatives. Buy a handmade item from local artisans and support local livelihood programs. These actions not only preserve cultural traditions but also nurture a deep connection between people and nature. Imagine a day when you stand on the African savanna, the wind blowing through the lush green grass, and before you is a herd of antelope running in the glow of the sunset. In that moment, you will understand everything we preserve today is not only for the present, but also a gift for future generations. At Nature Moment, we tell those stories, wild, authentic, and inspiring glimpses from the heart of nature. If you feel a connection, please like this video, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel so we can continue our journey to explore and protect the marvelous beauty of our blue planet. Because nature cannot speak for itself, we must speak on its behalf. Life here hangs by a fragile thread, gliding through the canopy as predators approach with deadly precision, taking down their prey in the blink of an eye. Lions, the apex predators, while coyotes use flexible cooperation to hunt. There is no sunlight, only the pressure that crushes everything and the bone-chilling cold. This is the most brutal natural arena on the planet, where only the strongest can survive. Brutal confrontations occur every day as predators and prey become entangled in an unyielding dance of survival. Every creature, whether small or mighty, plays a role in the operation of this harsh, ecological machine. The battles are relentless, harsh, and brutal. Every second that passes is a fierce struggle for survival. The crocodile patiently waits for the perfect moment to strike. A place where all the laws of nature are challenged, where life exists in unimaginable ways. In Nepal, where supreme forces reign, every creature fights to survive in a harsh environment. The battle between life and death at Kruger is fierce and unrelenting. The roar echoed powerfully through the night, signaling that a fierce battle for survival was underway. Under the scorching sun and the drifting clouds in the sky, a magnificent play is unfolding, demanding strength, agility, and extraordinary adaptability. Are you ready to face the most terrifying creatures lurking in the darkness? Here, there is no room for weakness. Only the strongest can endure in the whirlwind of life and death. Join us as we explore the miraculous journey of survival in this wilderness, where every moment is an incredible story. Let's explore this wild nature through the Wild Kingdom Animal Documentary Channel, where the battles between life and death are vividly and authentically captured. Let's join Nature Moment to witness the thrilling and dramatic moments of wildlife in Kruger National Park. Here, the battle between prey and predator unfolds without pause. In the heart of this natural landscape, elephants, lions, zebras, and many other animal species are struggling with crises that go beyond their own limits. Let's begin exploring this mysterious world and reach the deepest, darkest corners of the ocean. Let's join Nature Moment on a journey to explore the wild, where nature reveals all its harshness and beauty. Stay tuned for the video to witness the unforgettable moments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the most authentic footage of spectacular survival battles. In the past, the ocean was regarded as the heart of Mother Nature, a gift from the Creator. Kruger National Park, covering an area of more than 7,500 square miles, is located in the northeastern part of South Africa and is one of the most famous wildlife reserves in the world. Nepal, a country renowned for its incredibly rich biodiversity, is situated between the two Asian giants, China and India. They not only endure the harsh conditions of nature, but also face increasing pressure from the modern world around them. A baby elephant has passed away. This is not an uncommon story in these lands. Every step taken, every movement made is imbued with a spirit of resistance and extraordinary resilience. That is the indomitable spirit of the wild. Located along the banks of the Limpopo and Crocodile rivers, this area boasts a diverse ecosystem ranging from dense forests to wetlands, with over 1,500 plant species, 500 bird species, and the continent's Big Five: lions, elephants, leopards, buffalo, and rhinoceroses. The unique terrain of Nepal stretches from the Terai region, which is only 60 meters above sea level, to the majestic peak of Everest, standing at an astonishing height of 28,848 meters. This is not only the place where all life on this planet was born, but it also sustains the vital rhythm of the world. Interestingly, we know more about the Moon, hundreds of thousands of kilometers away, than we do about the ocean depths right beneath our feet. Kruger has become a sanctuary for wildlife, where life unfolds vibrantly and fiercely. Predators such as lions and crocodiles continuously interact with prey like zebras and buffalo in the struggle for survival. Nepal is divided into three distinct geographical regions: the Himalayan range, the Pahad Hills, and the Terai Plains. Their existence is not only a lesson in strength, but also a lesson in the balance necessary to preserve the beauty of this mystical land. When the dry season prevails, no species is safe. But the dangers do not only come from the unexpected. The sense of smell is one of the key senses that helps wild animals survive. These predators do not hunt for personal satisfaction, but to maintain balance, a reminder of the harmony of nature and the importance of living in harmony with it. However, this instinct cannot erase a harsh reality. Water is becoming increasingly scarce, and the heat turns every step into a tremendous challenge. In the savannah, even water, something that seems the simplest, becomes a battleground. When the light of dawn breaks, the jungle awakens, with the rustling of leaves and the cheerful songs of various birds, welcoming a new day full of the wonders of life. From afar, the deep and resonant sound echoes, accompanied by the heavy footsteps of a colossal creature, the Indian rhinoceros. The rare streams attract herds of zebras and wildebeests, where every sip of water and every patch of green grass could mean the difference between life and death. The temperature continues to rise, putting immense pressure on the bodies of animals, making the search for water a matter of survival. In prosperous times, competition is merely a wary glance. The herd of antelope moved forward like a flowing stream, with the young ones protected in the middle, while the weaker ones were left behind. This is the only species capable of making even Bengal tigers cautious. But when the drought drags on, each hesitant step can determine the difference between life and death. Each step stirred up clouds of dust, adding to the already dry atmosphere. Stepping into the landscape with thick, dark grey skin resembling ancient armor, the rhinoceros stands out under the shimmering sunlight, showcasing its immense strength. It can be seen that living in a strong community helps the herd of antelopes increase their chances of survival. Nevertheless, the savanna is not just a tale of harshness. It is also an epic of inner strength. With its unique curved horn, the rhinoceros is not only a symbol of power, but also commands respect wherever it goes. The Indian rhinoceros is distinguished by its characteristic horn and impressive size, which can reach lengths of up to 13 feet and weigh between 4,000 and 5,500 pounds. The old herds of elephants, with memories as deep as underground springs, lead their groups to find the remaining resources. The sun continued to rise high, and the temperature quickly climbed from 20 degrees in the morning to 30 degrees. The herds of zebras, with their remarkable endurance, alter their migration routes to adapt to changing seasons. The increase in temperature not only affects the feasibility of foraging for food, but also impacts the mentality of the entire group. This is one of the largest creatures in the Terai region. For humans, its height even exceeds the length of an adult elephant's leg. Life here continues, not with noise or sentimentality, just with unwavering perseverance every day. The rays of sunlight shine down without any shade, leaving no time to rest. Each individual that survives the drought will grow stronger and more resilient, ready to face the next challenge. Savannah does not forgive weakness. The rugged skin of the rhinoceros not only provides a sturdy layer of protection against predators, but also shields it from insects in the tropical rainforest environment. In the savannah, resilience is not a gift, it is the only condition for survival. Its horn, which can be up to 12 inches long, is a versatile tool used for self-defense, resolving territorial disputes, or confronting threats. Moving together creates strength and connection, but this very connection can also lead to danger. The larger the group, the easier it is for predators to spot them. Akeci moment. We believe that in every struggle for survival, nature teaches us not only about strength, but also about courage, hope, and the spirit of never giving up. Pay attention to the predators at the back of the herd. A little gazelle is being left behind. These giant creatures typically inhabit areas near wetlands, swamps, and tall grasslands in the Terai region of Nepal, where they spend a lot of time foraging for food or enjoying refreshing mud baths that help regulate their body temperature. Continue to join us on the journey to explore the next wonders of the wild. You will see that every moment in the savannah holds a lesson for us all. It was the first time it had participated in such a long journey. Temperature and water conditions not only play a crucial role in regulating health, but also provide the perfect habitat for rhinoceroses. Rhinoceroses can easily submerge themselves in water, remaining still for several minutes to avoid danger. The weather and the heat were working against them. With every step the herd took, dust was kicked up, making the air even more oppressive. While the drought leaves its mark, another devastating force emerges: fire. Its tiny legs trembled, and its steps grew less steady. National parks like Chitwan and Badia are the primary habitats for these magnificent creatures. Nurtured by dry vegetation and strong winds, wildfires erupted rapidly, turning vast areas into seas of flames. Although Indian rhinoceroses typically live alone, they demonstrate incredible strength and determination when protecting their young. For the residents of the savannah, fire is both an unforgiving enemy and a paradoxical agent of renewal. He called out for his mother in despair, but his mother, like other adults, could not stop. Although they may seem gentle, when necessary, they do not hesitate to confront large predators like Bengal tigers to defend their territory. Giraffes, with their long necks reaching high, have the advantage of seeing far and wide, allowing them to detect fires before they occur and move to safety before it's too late. Wildfires are often sparked by lightning or human activity, but these fires serve as a powerful reminder of the connection between the forces of nature and human actions in the savannah. Although wildfires may seem like disasters, they play an essential role in maintaining ecological balance. Native plants, many species of which can only germinate after fire, rely on their own natural mechanisms to help the savannah maintain its rich biodiversity and unique characteristics of the wilderness. The recovery process after a fire is a slow yet miraculous journey. The large elephants bear an important responsibility by dispersing seeds as they move through the landscapes, helping to enhance the speed of recovery. Herbivores, such as zebras and gnus, return to the devastated areas in search of tender green grass, thereby attracting lurking predators. The fire cycle in the savanna reminds us that destruction and creation are always closely intertwined. Each flame that consumes a tree paves the way for new life, and every creature facing the fire participates in the eternal dance of transformation, where balance is not established by stability, but by continuous adaptation. When the final rains sweep over the savanna, the transformation is immediate and striking. The barren landscape suddenly bursts into vibrant colors. The dwindling rivers miraculously revive their flow, and tender grass stretches up amidst the parched fields. For wildlife, this is a land of hope after months of challenging drought. But like all the other wonderful things in nature, the rain brings new challenges, showcasing the inherent surprises of the savanna. Water, once scarce, has now become abundant. But it is not always safe. Sudden flash floods can turn safe places into deadly traps. The wildebeests and visibras, drawn to the lush grasslands, often become easy prey for the rising rivers, sweeping away creatures that do not manage to escape in time. Even legendary elephants, with their strength and intelligence, need to adjust their paths to avoid flooded areas and deep rivers. With abundant water sources, plants are stimulated to grow vigorously, attracting a multitude of herbivores from all over the savanna. The zebras and gnus flocked to the fertile areas in search of food, preparing for the next challenging cycle. This abundant period also witnessed a significant increase in reproduction, with more offspring being born than ever before, taking advantage of the plentiful food supply and the relative safety within healthy herds. However, this beautiful landscape is not without its hidden dangers within the savanna, reminding us that life and death are forever intertwined in this world. In every ruin left by the fire, life quietly nurtures the seeds for new beginnings. The harshest challenges do not destroy life. They only make it stronger and more adaptable. Amidst the cycles of collapse and rebirth, nature reminds us that loss is not the end, but the beginning of a new journey. The greatest resilience does not lie in outward strength, but in the ability to rise, sprout and bloom even in the ashes of land that has been scorched. When the rainy season arrives, the landscape of the grasslands becomes richer and more complex, creating wonderful hiding spots for predators. Predators like lions and leopards skillfully hide in tall grass, waiting for the perfect moment to attack unsuspecting prey such as zebras or wildebeests. Each time they stop to drink water or search for food, it must be accompanied by heightened vigilance, as threats can emerge from any direction. In addition to large predators, birds of prey also participate in this game, taking advantage of the migration of small animals and insects under the new climate conditions. The eagles and hawks execute precise flights, capturing their moving prey, demonstrating that even the smallest events in the prairie impact life. Especially elephants, as always, play an essential role in reallocating resources. The elephants leave paths in the soft ground, creating convenient routes for other species, allowing the herd to move easily. Moreover, with the ability to reach the tallest trees, they help disperse seeds over vast areas, promoting the growth of plants in new locations. However, the rains, essential for life, also expose the fragility of the prairie to unexpected changes. The instability caused by the flowing water creates an environment where flexibility and adaptability become essential for survival. For some species, increased rainfall can create opportunities for robust growth, while for smaller species, such as small mammals with burrows that are prone to flooding, this can be a challenging and risky period. Gradually, as the rainy season progresses, the grasslands become vibrant with shades of green, but this fleeting beauty is very ephemeral. As the rain begins to subside, the lush green gradually gives way to aridity. The narrow rivers have run dry, the lakes have turned into muddy puddles, and the recurring challenges of the prairie have re-emerged with force. This brief recovery period is not just a moment of relaxation, but also a reminder of the resilience of wildlife. In every downpour, the savanna not only rejuvenates, but also teaches us a lesson about the power of change and adaptation. In a place where life is always fragile in the face of unexpected upheavals, each species learns to survive with courage, patience, and faith in a better tomorrow. It is precisely in the brief moments between those two seasons that we witness the true beauty of perseverance. Not in grand victories, but in each instance of rising again after facing challenges. If you were a part of this vast prairie, which quality, resilience, adaptability, or unity, do you think would help you survive the longest? Please leave your response in the comments, and let's explore more wonderful lessons from nature with Nature Moment. For example, lions, known as the kings of the savannah, are struggling with increasing challenges as their living conditions become harsher. The shortage of prey during dry seasons or disease outbreaks forces these powerful creatures to expand their hunting territories, sometimes venturing into areas dominated by other predators or crossing through perilous landscapes. With their social intelligence and excellent communication skills, hyenas often challenge lions by stealing their prey or attacking lion cubs. The encounter between these species is a battle not only of strength, but also of strategy, where the title of victory is never guaranteed. As night falls, the distinctive laughter of hyenas echoes across the savannah like a signal that they are ready to seize the rewards of others' hard work. On the other hand, the leopards took a completely different path. They are solitary hunters in the savannah, relying on their impressive speed to catch and pursue smaller prey such as gazelles or impalas. However, the chase, while visually stunning, consumes a significant amount of energy, leaving them vulnerable after each pursuit. It is not uncommon for hyena packs or even flocks of scavenging birds to quickly swarm the scene after a successful hunt, leaving the leopard empty-handed. The cycle of hunting and loss serves as a reminder that in the savannah, survival is not merely about strength or skill. It also demands resilience, both mentally and physically. In addition, the interactions among predators bring even more interesting elements. For example, zebras have a remarkably unique survival strategy to evade attacks. Their captivating vertical stripes are not merely an aesthetic pattern. They also confuse the eyes of predators, making it difficult to distinguish individual members within the herd. This sophisticated camouflage technique, combined with the ability to run as fast as the wind, has made hunting zebras an incredibly challenging task, even for the most experienced lions. Every day in the lives of predators is a challenging journey, where victory does not always belong to the strongest, but sometimes depends on intelligence and the ability to adapt to the surrounding environment. Although they have a bulky appearance, the giant gnus display impressive survival tactics. Around them, the massive herd was not just a simple shield of protection, but also a formidable force when facing the enemy. When a predator appears, the group will spring into action, creating an organized chaos that significantly reduces the chances of being attacked. However, this protective system is not always completely effective. Younger individuals, or those that are elderly, often become easy prey, providing essential food sources for predators, while the rest of the herd continues on their journey. But it's not just the large predators that are important in the grassland ecosystem. Small carnivores like wild dogs and feral cats play an essential role in maintaining ecological balance. These small predators hunt mice, birds, and insects, helping to control animal population density and creating positive effects on grass and trees. Indeed, their agility and stealth help them avoid the attention of larger predators, but their contribution to the environment is undeniable. In the dramatic world of predators, internal competition is even more fierce. Male lions often fight each other for control of the pride, with encounters that can end in serious injuries or even death. Victorious lions not only assert their right to be fathers, but also bear the responsibility of protecting their offspring from threats posed by rivals. However, here, a lion may also have to eliminate the offspring of the previous one to ensure the continuation of its lineage. Meanwhile, hyenas organize a complex hierarchy where females always dominate males. This unique social structure gives us a significant advantage in coordinating attacks and effectively defending our territory. The resilience and adaptability of hyenas make them an almost unstoppable force on the grassland. This is a perfect example of how collaboration and social intelligence can surpass brute strength. The heart of all these movements is an ongoing demand for innovation. Every predator in the grasslands, whether large or small, must find a way to adapt to the constantly changing conditions, from periods of drought to recovery phases after wildfire. This ability to adapt is not only a matter of personal survival, but also a way to help maintain ecological balance. And each species has its own role in maintaining this delicate balance. And any disruption can trigger a chain reaction that affects the entire grassland. The struggle between predators and prey, as well as among the predators themselves, is not merely a display of strength and skill. It is a microcosm of life in the meadow, where every movement and every decision carries profound influence. The decision can shape the fate of each individual and even the entire population. On the African savanna, everything is governed by external forces that we cannot control, and nothing is more unpredictable than climate change. This global phenomenon directly affects the behavior of wildlife, altering rainfall patterns, raising temperatures, and increasing the challenges that each species faces in its habitat. The rainy season, a time that has always been familiar, has now become unpredictable, bringing heavy downpours that arrive later or last for shorter periods than necessary. At the same time, prolonged droughts are creating a picture of great instability. If you were a creature in this harsh prairie, would you choose to be a solitary warrior or someone who knows how to band together to survive? Please share your choice in the comments. Animals that depend on a stable water source, such as elephants, are forced to travel farther to find enough water to meet their enormous daily needs. This relentless journey not only puts greater pressure on their bodies, but also increases the risk of conflict with humans, who are also competing for increasingly scarce resources. The elephant, as usual, once again demonstrated its remarkable adaptability. They remember the locations of the water sources they found in previous years and share that valuable knowledge with the younger members of the pack. However, even their excellent memory cannot overcome the impacts of climate change, which has altered the landscape and made journeys more dangerous and unpredictable than ever before. In addition, zebras and giraffes also face similar challenges. The migration routes they have established over thousands of years are now being disrupted. The roads that once ensured safety and abundant resources have now become fraught with danger. And the lakes are drying up faster than expected, and the grasslands are being devastated by off-season wildfires. For these species, climate change is not merely an ecological adjustment. It is a race against time for survival. In addition, the rising temperatures also increase the frequency and intensity of wildfires, causing vast areas of grasslands to ignite. Although these fires often play a crucial role in the recovery cycle of vegetation, the increase in intensity has led to serious consequences. Many parts of the habitat are destroyed before the animals have a chance to escape, and the time needed for plants to regenerate is prolonged, leaving many species without sufficient food for an extended period. Predatory species such as lions and cheetahs must also bear the impact of this transformation. With the decrease in prey and increasing competition, they need to adjust their hunting strategies. The lion, therefore, must expand its territory, seeking new opportunities in an increasingly changing environment. Surviving in the wild is no longer just about adapting. It has become a harsh challenge against the uncertainties of nature. When it comes to survival battles in nature, one cannot overlook the challenges that animal herds face. In the wild, the cheetah, one of the most cunning predators, is becoming increasingly vulnerable due to its solitary hunting strategy. Meanwhile, the pressure from other packs of animals continues to increase. Not only that, environmental factors such as climate change and habitat fragmentation, due to the expansion of agriculture and urbanization, are exacerbating these pressures. The roads, fences and cultivated fields have created physical barriers, making it difficult for many animal species, especially elephants, to migrate and search for food and water sources. This situation not only creates conflicts between humans and animals, but also puts both the local community and animal populations in danger. In that world, there are no absolute victors, only lives striving tirelessly to secure the right to continue existing. When nature is out of balance, even the strongest creatures become fragile, reminding us that life, whether small or great, is worthy of appreciation. Amidst conflicts and changes, the only hope for the future lies in understanding, sharing, and working together to protect this vast common home. However, amidst these significant challenges, initiatives are being implemented to mitigate the impact of climate change in savanna regions. Moreover, community activities are also very important. Programs that participate in sustainable natural resource management not only help create harmony between humans and animals, but also promote economic development through ecotourism. This not only provides income for the community, but also encourages the conservation of biodiversity. Well-managed nature reserves and protected areas are ideal for observing endangered species. However, the solution to these challenges requires a global effort. Reducing carbon emissions and combating deforestation are essential steps to slow down the impacts of climate change. Scientific research and continuous monitoring of wildlife populations are also extremely important for predicting future crises and developing effective response strategies. Even though these efforts may be concentrated at the same time, savannas remain one of the most threatened ecosystems on Earth. Each prolonged drought, every devastating wildfire, and each conflict between humans and animals serve as reminders of the fragility of this environment. But at the same time, the savanna is also a testament to the adaptability of nature. Each seedling that emerges after a fire, each herd that adjusts its migration route, and each predator that discovers a new way to survive all demonstrate that no matter how harsh the circumstances, life always finds a way. The future of savannas depends not only on the resilience of the species that inhabit them, but also on human actions to protect and preserve this unique ecosystem. No matter how great the challenges may be, the resilience and growth of the savanna serve as a powerful reminder that life always finds a way. In the heart of the African savanna, a contrasting picture of beauty and danger unfolds, where abundance and scarcity, life and death, intertwine in a delicate and inseparable manner. Each passing day is a fierce battle, not only between prey and predator, but also a story of adaptation, events, and fragile balances. Each species of animal plays an indispensable role in this interconnected ecosystem, where no life exists in isolation. The giant, compassionate elephants not only transform the landscape, but also take on the responsibility of gatekeepers for the savanna. Their footsteps create pathways, storing water for smaller animals, and their droppings scatter seeds, awakening new life for plant species. However, these giants are not immune to the increasing pressures from environmental changes, as well as coexisting with species such as zebras and antelopes. Their great migrations are not only a spectacular sight, but also a driving force for the life cycle of the savanna, enriching the land with their footprints and droppings, and providing a rich food source for predators. But our survival depends on migration routes that have existed for thousands of years, which are now threatened by physical barriers and climate change. These herds are being forced to adapt or face extinction. On the other side, predators like lions, hyenas, and leopards constantly walk the thin line between the glory of victory and the bitter taste of defeat. Every time they set out to hunt, it is not just a battle for survival, but also a strategic puzzle, ranging from the cooperation of lions to the speed of leopards and the collective intelligence of hyenas. Life in the savanna is also influenced by other invisible forces. Diseases and extreme weather caused by the large population. Epidemics can devastate entire populations, but they also create opportunities for survivors to adapt and thrive. Just like the natural cycles of drought and rain, these crises are embraced by the eternal arms of ecological balance. In addition to the natural challenges, human activities are leaving a profound impact on the savanna. The expansion of agriculture, urbanization, logging, and illegal hunting has pushed an already fragile ecosystem into a more dangerous situation. Elephants face conflicts with farmers, while lions lose territory to human expansion. And even small rodents are not spared from the impacts of habitat destruction. However, in this context, a flicker of hope still remains. The resistance and vibrant vitality of nature, along with human efforts to preserve it, demonstrate that the African savanna still has the capacity to recover as long as we know how to cherish and protect it. Life in the savanna is not just a struggle for survival. It is also a priceless wonder of existence that we must preserve for future generations. In the colorful tapestry of nature, rays of hope are gradually becoming clearer, ignited by conservation efforts. From the establishment of nature reserves to community programs that educate about environmental protection. The extended ecological corridors have provided animals with a safer opportunity to move between fragmented land areas, while international initiatives are racing against time to mitigate the severe impacts of climate change. Savannah, a land that seems to be nothing but sun, wind, and challenges, stands as a vibrant testament to the miraculous endurance of life. It reminds us that even in the harshest environments, nature continues to seek ways to adapt and thrive. Yet, that resilience is more fragile than we might think. Amidst all the upheaval, the African savanna retains its wild and vibrant beauty, where every struggle for survival, every moment of adaptation, and every silent revival tells magnificent stories about the power of nature and the profound significance of conservation. As the sunset casts its final rays of light over the vast prairie, the savanna hums the eternal symphony of life. Where herds of zebras slowly make their way to the water, the roar of lions echoes in the wind, and the first stars twinkle like silent notes in the sky. Every living being, no matter how small, is an indispensable part of that symphony. Here we believe that the beauty and challenges of the savanna, and of nature in general, are not only meant to be admired, but also to be understood and preserved. This journey is not just a story of nature, but also a story of ourselves. If you also believe in the power of those wonderful nature stories, don't forget to subscribe to the Nature Moment channel to join us in exploring many more amazing journeys. Are you ready to write the next chapter with your actions? In the stillness of dawn, a thunderous roar shattered the silence. It was the call of a lion, the king in a harsh wilderness. The lions, with their majestic and regal appearance, are symbols of strength and resilience. But even these kings could not escape the constant challenges in the struggle for survival. Under the shade of a solitary ancient tree, a pride of lions is resting, conserving energy for their nighttime hunts when the chill of the night becomes a useful ally. The females in the pack, the clever strategists, and the primary hunters of the group often meticulously plan attacks, targeting prey such as zebras and even buffalo, especially when the pack is large enough. They silently surround their prey, taking advantage of the darkness during the dry season when vegetation becomes scarce and the prey's vigilance increases. Every gesture must be carefully prepared, and the male lions play an equally important role with their thick, majestic manes, demonstrating leadership and protection within the pride. Let's follow their adventurous and fascinating journey, where vibrant life continues to thrive despite all the challenges posed by nature, With their muscular bodies and superior strength, the lions not only protect their territory, but also stand guard to shield the entire pride from adversaries. The growls echoed throughout the territory like a warning to intruders, simultaneously affirming their strength. However, this protection does not only occur on a physical level, it also ensures that the prey captured by the entire group will always be safe, kept away from the claws of opportunists like hyenas and wolves. The collaboration among the members of the pride is the key to the lion's success. Each individual, from the lion cubs to the adult males, plays an important role in this social structure. The lionesses take care of the cubs, while the males guard the territory. This is a delicate balance, refined over millennia to confront the challenges of the harsh environment in the Kalahari Desert. However, even the kings of the grasslands cannot escape the challenges that lie ahead. From afar, the raucous laughter and sharp gazes signaled the presence of the hyenas. With patience and courage, they wait for the right moment to approach. These opportunists are masters at exploiting every weakness of the pride of lions. They surround the carcasses and wait for the chance to snatch whatever they can. Even the strongest predators must constantly struggle to ensure their survival. While the lions protect their territory, the hyenas lurk nearby, demonstrating that even the kings of the savannah face challenges in this life. The harsh laughter echoed again, shattering the silence of the Kalahari grasslands as the hyenas drew closer, announcing their presence. Famous for their reputation as scavengers, they are much more than that. They are skilled hunters and effective strategists, capable of competing with the kings of the savannah. Hyenas live in organized packs, led by a dominant female known as a matriarch. This unique social structure ensures that the entire group functions like a well-oiled machine, with each member playing an essential role in the survival of the collective. Their communication is incredibly sophisticated, utilizing a combination of sounds, gestures, and even facial expressions. This signaling system allows them to organize precisely during hunts or when competing for food. At night, the group gathered to plan their next steps. Unlike lions, hyenas often rely on their endurance to chase prey over long distances until the prey is completely exhausted. Zebras, antelopes, and even young giraffes can fall prey to hyenas when they hunt in packs. When carrying out a coordinated attack, they surround their prey, creating a captivating and intense scene of the wild. There is a tiny creature that possesses strength and agility that many larger predators must respect. It is the hyena. When a group of hyenas prepares to attack their prey, they do not charge in like lone warriors. Instead, they are much more sophisticated, coordinating seamlessly from various angles to disrupt their prey. Although the hunting ability of hyenas is impressive, they are also notorious for their habit of stealing food from other predators. The carcasses left behind by lions or leopards are rarely overlooked. With its powerful jaws capable of crushing bones, the creature can utilize nearly every part of its prey, from meat to bones, as a way to ensure that nothing goes to waste. This plays an important role in the ecosystem, as they help clean the environment of organic animal remains and prevent the spread of disease. But this courage is also fraught with risks. Encounters between the spirit and the lion occur frequently and often end in death. While it may cause a small group of lionesses or a solitary leopard to be cautious, confronting a powerful pride of lions often means defeat for the black-backed jackal. However, it is their resilience that makes them outstanding survivors. It is this courage and resilience that have turned the hyena into a symbol of strong adaptability in the face of harsh nature. They do not just compete for survival, they create it in their own intelligent and deeply moving way. In every chase, it's not just about the instinct for survival, but also a profound lesson about unity and the role of each individual within the group. The hyena teaches us that sometimes the weak are not the losers, but rather those who know how to wait for the right moment to rise above. If you are impressed by the strength and intelligence of the hyena, please comment the number 2 below. And don't forget to follow nature. Moment, the place that brings you the most genuine and profound moments of the wild. While a pack of hyenas is devouring the remains of a carcass, a small yet clever predator is also present, the black-backed jackal. With its patience and skill, the wild dog observed from a distance, waiting for the right moment to claim its share. In the Kalahari Desert, the black-backed jackal is a master of survival. With gentle steps and extremely calculated movements, they approach the carcass left by a hyena or lion, always alert to any threats in the surroundings. Although much smaller than larger predators, the black-backed jackal compensates for its lack of strength with impressive intelligence and adaptability. They communicate with each other through short, sharp calls, creating synchronized activity and often forming pairs to work together in foraging for food. This collaboration enables them to become clever opportunists, taking advantage of leftovers from larger prey or hunting smaller targets like rabbits, birds, and reptiles when food is scarce. When food sources become scarce, the black-backed jackal does not hesitate to approach fruits or roots to diversify its diet. However, life in the Kalahari Desert is fraught with danger. As they approached the corpse, the leopard had to be extremely careful not to attract the attention of the lion or the black-backed jackal. One wrong step can turn a predator into prey at any moment. Let's explore the spectacular world of these creatures together. Do you see the contrast between the strength of the spirit and the agility of the black-backed jackal? Both have their own unique survival strategies, and it is precisely these strategies that enable them to thrive in the challenging environment of the Kalahari Desert. So, take a moment to reflect on how each species of animal, whether large or small, contributes to the vast tapestry of nature. Although it has a reputation as a thief, the wild dog actually plays a very important role in the ecosystem. They eat up the decaying carcasses and small insects, helping to maintain the natural balance of the Kalahari region. Once satisfied with its hunger, the wild dog lifted its head and took notice of the nearby tree canopies. Hidden in the shade of the leaves, the most cunning predator of the desert is waiting for the right moment: the leopard. The leopard cat, with its solitary demeanor, attentively observes the meadow below. Known as the most skillful predator in the desert, it possesses powerful muscles, along with a golden coat adorned with black spots. Although its presence is almost imperceptible among the trees, the leopard is completely different from lions or hyenas, which are species that typically hunt in packs. He is completely confident in himself. Every step of the leopard is calculated, meticulously, as it stealthily approaches its prey. With their agile muscles, leopards can leap up to 6 meters in a spectacular pounce, finishing the attack with a powerful bite to the neck or nape of their prey. The strength of a tiger lies not only in its skills, but also in its pulling power. It can lift prey 3 times its own weight, up to high branches, where other predators cannot reach. In the Kalahari, with limited resources, leopards must optimize their strategy, often hunting the young of antelopes like impalas, and even small wild boars. Its hunting primarily takes place in the late afternoon or at night, when darkness becomes an ally that helps the leopard remain concealed. Throughout the day, the hawks typically rest on high branches, staying away from the intense heat and the watchful eyes of their competitors. However, the life of a tiger is not always smooth sailing. Despite having speed and agility, it must be cautious to avoid confrontations with a pride of lions or a pack of hyenas, both of which have the ability to steal its food or pose a threat to its life. To survive, the leopard relies on its skill in blending into the landscape, moving like a shadow across the desert. And while the hawk was relaxing on the branch, its sharp eyes caught sight of a movement in the distance, across the vast meadow. A completely different hunter relies on speed, not stealth, to secure a meal for itself. The cheetah. With its slender and aerodynamic body, the cheetah is the fastest runner in the animal kingdom, symbolizing speed and agility across the Kalahari grasslands. In the wild, tense moments unfold continuously under the scorching sun, where life and death can occur in the blink of an eye. In this arid land, where the scorching heat makes energy a precious resource, even a mighty warrior like the leopard must hunt wisely to survive. When spotting its prey, usually a small antelope or a rabbit, the leopard will stealthily approach, using the low grass to conceal itself. Every step is carefully calculated. It needs to shorten the distance before charging into the decisive sprint. In that exact moment, the tiger dashed forward like an arrow, its flexible spine and powerful legs propelling it ahead. However, speed comes at a price. The cheetah can only maintain its maximum speed for about 20 to 30 seconds before exhausting itself. If it cannot catch its prey within that time, it will have to give up, enduring the terrifying feeling of becoming vulnerable to other predators. When hunting is successful, the leopard works efficiently. However, with a lower power level compared to lions or cheetahs, it must quickly consume its meal before a pack of hyenas or other predators appear to claim the piece of meat it has fought to obtain. In the remote Kalahari Desert, where the competition for food is fierce, the cheetah often faces the loss of its hard-earned prey. Not only is the leopard a solitary hunter, but it also plays an essential role in the ecosystem, helping to regulate the populations of smaller herbivores. Its incredible speed is not just a weapon, it is also a testament to the extreme specialization that life in the desert demands. After a strenuous hunt, the cheetah can rest on the dry ground, but meanwhile, a small yet vibrant community is bustling with activity, blending together in a spirit of perfect cooperation. In the natural world, even the fastest creatures must know their limits and learn to accept failure. Survival does not come from absolute strength, but from the ability to persevere and know when to take a step back to wait for another opportunity. The cheetah teaches us that speed does not always lead to victory. Rather, it is courage and perseverance that nurture hope. In the midst of a brutal struggle for survival, each time we rise after a setback is a testament to the indomitable spirit of nature.